Okay, so today I want to continue my little talk about how I shoot events. Now, I've been a solo creator for the last more than a decade now. Um, I've been shooting by myself. I've had only one instance I can recall where I hired someone to shoot with me. All right. And so over this decade or so, I have learned a couple of things that I'd like to share with you. All right. And if you have been following this video or this channel for any time, you would realize that this is going to be the third part of this talk, right? In the first video, I spoke about just acquiring gear, putting your gear together for the shoot. You got the job, or in my case, I got the job, I got the gig, contracts were signed and all of that, agreement was signed, and I got the gig, and how I put together my gear, all the gear that I require for the shoot. So that was in part one of this talk. And the second part, I spoke about when I get to the venue, what I do, what I would normally do, and some of the stuff that you can do. I'm talking about what I do, but essentially I'm just offering suggestions. Now, you don't have to take all my suggestions, but I'm just sharing as I go along, right? So that's when you get to the venue. Now, for this video, I want to talk about the shoot. This video, I want to talk about the shoot itself. You're going to be rolling cameras, all right? So this is what it's all about, all right? So you have finished setting up your cameras. And just a little side note here. Because I've been a solo creator for all these years, one of the things that I realized quickly is that having just one perspective in terms of a shot, can be quite boring. Now, because I don't use a gimbal and I don't normally move around, I have been shooting multicam for the last couple of years, right? Everything I shoot, I have at least minimum 3 cameras running or 4, right? Sometimes my phone or a phone would be that 4th camera, right? And this allows me to have good coverage of the event without me chasing back and forth with a gimbal. Nothing wrong with a gimbal. I love gimbals. I love watching the smoothness of gimbal shots and what people can do with gimbals, right? But gimbals have their pros and cons. They do have their pros and cons. And because I don't want to have to deal with the cons, I don't bother with the gimbal. All right? So multicam. I've been doing multicam for many years. All right, so let's talk about the shoot. And as the shoot is about to start, or prior to you starting to roll your cameras, these are some of the things that I would do, and probably you should consider doing. So if you're running off battery, especially if you're a new creator, you're a new solo creator, and you haven't had a chance to buy stuff like V-mount batteries yet, or other bigger capacity batteries, it's a good idea to check your battery levels in your camera before you start rolling, right? Because you may have a battery that you used from a previous event which is halfway down, and as we're talking about batteries, it's always good to have spare batteries, excess spare batteries. That's very important. So check your battery levels. Nothing worse than running out of battery in the middle of something that is very important, and I'm just offering this tip just in case you're new and you haven't had a chance to buy bigger capacity batteries as yet, right? And you're using the battery that's inside your camera. It's a good idea. So check your battery levels. That is something that I have done over the last years that I have been doing this on a part-time basis. That's number one. You have hooked up your audio recorder to the mixing board. Double check on the levels. Usually the DJ or someone at the venue, they might be playing music. And you can have someone even just speak into a microphone just to make sure that the levels coming into your audio recorder is good. It's adequate. It's not peaking. It's not clipping. It's not distorting. That kind of stuff. All right. So check your audio recorder levels. Number 3, it's a good idea to capture some, pre-event. Pre-event. When I say pre-event, I mean, if it's a wedding, if it's a concert, if it's in many cases there might be music playing. The DJ might be playing a little background music instead of having the place just silent. Capture whatever music is playing. Just however you want to capture it, whether it's with a recorder or with a camera. Just capture some of those ambient music, that you could probably use in the edit. Now, as we talk about music, of course you have to think about copyright issues, because if you're going to be posting anything on YouTube or any other online platform, you have to be, these days, back in the day I was not posting stuff online, but these days you have to be very mindful of using music. But nevertheless, capture some ambient music. If you're going to be offering a copy that is not going to be posted online, you could add some of those captured music to it. All right. Yeah. So yeah, everything is getting the anticipation is building up, for you to hit record. What you can do now is I would say 5 minutes. You're going to have a program. That is something I mentioned in the previous video. Get a copy of the program if the venue has one. If the event has a program, get a copy of the program, right? A program outline. What is coming up next? Who is going to be speaking? That kind of stuff. All right. So and most importantly, there may be a specific start time, regardless of when the event actually starts. Start rolling your camera at least 5 or 10 minutes before the start time that is stated on the program. Start rolling your cameras, right? You don't want to be playing catch up at this point. No scrambling. Start rolling your cameras. Ensure that your cameras have good power. Your SD cards were formatted and they're empty, and you don't have to be worrying about battery issues or SD cards, storage capacities getting filled up. Just start rolling cameras. All right, start rolling your cameras, right? As you shoot throughout the night, so the event has started, right? And stuff is happening now. As your cameras are rolling, at regular intervals, if you can get to the mixing board or wherever you're capturing your audio from, occasionally just monitor your audio for a minute or two, just to make sure that your levels coming in are okay. All right, no clipping or no distortion, that kind of stuff. Just from time to time during the event, just monitor your audio levels, just to make sure that all is well, because you know, good audio is very important, and what you're getting from the mixing board most likely will be the main audio that you're going to be using in your edit. All right, monitor your audio. Okay, so next thing you can do, guys, I've always done that. I usually work with a photo camera, or if I have a spare camera. You know, some people, you know, you can use your cell phone if you prefer, but I usually walk with a regular photo camera over my shoulder. And this is just to capture photos. Even though I'm shooting video, you know, I would lift up my camera from time to time. I try to get maybe a good telephoto lens on not a big camera, a small camera, but with a good telephoto lens, just to capture you know, some shots here and there which can be used in the edit, you know, or yeah, you never know. I believe that I'm the kind of person who, you know, you can never have more than enough footage. It's better you have more than you need than you don't have enough. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, so I would capture photos, and the only thing I would say to you, if you're going to shoot photos, shoot them in the 16:9, you know, widescreen aspect ratio on your camera. Right, if you're going to be using them in your edit, it would kind of save you, you know, during edit, so you don't have to put an overlay behind the pictures just to, yeah. You know, depending on how you're going to be using the pictures, also you could shoot them vertically, right? If they're gonna be posted, you know, online, then you could probably shoot them vertically. But for me personally, over the years, if I'm going to be using photos in my edit, I shoot them in a widescreen format, 16:9, so that they fill up my you know, my editing screen, TV screen or whatever. So if that's an option, you know, if it's something that you think might be important to you, walk with a little photo camera, or use your phone, just to capture some photos as the event progresses. You know, it's always good to have excess footage. You know, yeah. Depending on the event. The next thing, depending on the event, you may want to shoot some testimonials, right? You may want to shoot some testimonials. So as you shoot, you know, you can consider about what kind of testimonials you would like to have, right? For the client. You know, testimonials are a good way to kind of spice up the video. You know, add some interest to the video. You know, add some authenticity to the shoot, that kind of stuff. I mean, not every event is going to require testimonials, right? But you know, consider shooting some testimonials. And try to figure out how you're going to do it, where in the venue you can do that, and you know, just to make sure that your video is you know, you have ample footage to use in your edit to spice it up and give it some interest. And yeah, yes. And apart from that, not just testimonials, but you can capture other you know, other footages, pieces of footages here and there to use as B-roll, right? If you're new to this whole video thing, B-roll is basically any video that you shoot apart from the main event that can be used in the edit. You know, that will add, you can use during the edit to add you know, interest, or you know, to the edit, just to help out with the whole editing process. You could, add, capture like reaction shots, capture like people doing stuff in the venue, capture, people having conversations, capture, people who are converging in groups, chatting, you know, yeah, anything that seems interesting and you have a chance to do that, to capture it. Like I said, it's better to have more footage than you need than you don't have enough. Now, as a solo creator, because this channel is all about, it's not exclusive to, but it's mostly geared towards people who are in solo filmmaking, solo content creation, solo videographers, like I have been over the last decade or so. It's always good to have enough footage to be helpful in the edit. So capture as much B-roll as you can. I know it can be a bit of a challenge because, like I said, I shoot multicam for my shoots. I have three or more cameras running, and so I shoot multicam, and manning 3 cameras plus snapping photos, shooting B-rolls here and there, can be a bit much. It's a lot to ask, but I mean, over time, once you prepare properly, once you are properly prepared, it will become second nature, guys. I promise you that it will become second nature. So capture B-roll. All right. So the event has been going all night, and assume that everything went well. You got all the footage that you need. The audio was good, and so on and so forth. You got enough B-roll, that kind of stuff, and you're pleased. You're pleased with the outcome so far. At the end of the event, this is just a little bit of advice now. All right, touch base with the anyone who is associated with the event. The main person, the person who was in charge, the coordinator of the events, or the person who hired you, if possible, or just the person who is kind of running things for the night. Just touch base with them. Say a big thank you. Any way that you were assisted. Give a big thank you, to whoever assisted you or was able to facilitate your night. Don't forget to show some gratitude before you leave, all right? It's a good idea. So say thank you, and let them know that you're heading out now. You're going to head out, and just reassure them that everything went well with the shoot. You were able to capture all the footage that you wanted, and just kind of put them at ease. You understand? Just put them at ease. All right, and then you head out. Say bye to whoever you want to say bye to. Say thanks to the DJ, thanks to the custodian, or whoever of the building. Thanks to the event coordinator. And you head out. All right. Now, I was gonna put this section in another video, but this is appropriate. When you get home, just back up your videos. I don't know, how you want to back them up, but get them off your SD card, get them onto an SSD or hard drive. If you have access to cloud storage, do that. But back up and have at least three backups, at least 3 backups. right? One off-site and maybe two on-site, okay? Even if you have to, put them on a hard drive, if you don't have close, and give them to a relative, to a relative or a friend, someone away from your house, to keep until you finish with the edit. All right? And another thing, don't erase your SD cards until you finish the edit, okay? Don't format your SD cards until you finish your edit. All right, so for that reason, it's a good idea to have at least two sets of SD cards or recording media, whether it's SD card, CF Express, whatever card you do, whatever card you use, whatever you're recording to SSD on your cameras, because many cameras can record straight to SSD. What I'm trying to say, don't erase, don't format your cards until you're done with the edit. And for that reason, like I said, it's always good to have two sets of recording media. All right, so you can go on a next shoot, you can go on another shoot, in the next day or the next weekend, with the second set of cards. All right, so that is it, guys. This is how I normally run my shoot, and I'm just going to go through them quickly. Just give me a moment there. My dry eyes giving me a problem. Dry eyes cause watery eyes. It sounds paradoxical, but it's true. All right. Yeah, so that's how I normally run my night. Just to go back through everything, number one, double check your batteries, battery levels and stuff. Number two, double check your recording, your audio recording as the night progresses. Capture pre-event music, if you think it's going to be necessary as the night progresses. Start rolling at least 5 to 10 minutes. Start have your cameras rolling at least 5 to 10 minutes, before the stated start time on the program. Shoot photos of the event if that you think might be good for the edit or just to post online. Capture B-roll of certain things that are happening, and in the end, pack up your gear smartly. Pack them up, because you're a solo creator, you work alone. Unscrupulous people are out there, so be smart in the way you do stuff, okay? If you're able to shoot with just a backpack, then all the gear can fit in a backpack, or just two rolling thing. That's good, But if you have to make one trip to your vehicle and come back, you have to be smart in the way you do that. All right. So pack up. Say bye to everyone who assisted you throughout the night, or anyone who was important in the event. Say touch base with them. Head out. Get home. Back up your footage. Have at least 3 backup of the footage, and so that's it. That's how I kind of run my shoot. All right, so I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you really do. And if you did, give me a thumbs up, and until the next video, don't forget to subscribe. Until the next video, you take care of yourself. All right, bye-bye.